Hey guys, I hope you're doing well here. If you saw the previous video, this is kind of a sequel to it. So we talked about gratitude. We talked about unfulfilled desires and how finding peace and serenity is always a battle of like trying to find the middle path there. Because you don't want to get complacent. We always want to be striving to be better. But we need to enjoy the present moment, and that's only prerequisite to that is being grateful. So, being that this channel is centered around, men, and obviously most of not all my audience is men, we have to talk about women, because women, and the lust for women, I should say, is the greatest unfulfilled desire and addiction that can steal your peace. So, whether it's not getting any women, or it's not getting enough women, or it's becoming the most, or it's all you ever think about, or it's starting to get in the way of other things because you're constantly chasing girls and all that. That is something that society uses that to make you feel like you're not working hard enough, you're not successful enough. Because if you had the Ferrari, if you had a bunch of stupid tattoos, if you had the penthouse apartment, then you'd have that bad bitch on Instagram that you want. But who benefits by you working tirelessly to get the Ferrari, to get the apartment, to get that bad Instagram bitch? Well, the government does. Why? Because the more money you make, typically, the more taxes you have to pay for it. Now, obviously, I know that owning a business, you have write-offs, and there's offshore accounts that you can, shelter your tax liability to, but those are typically at extremely high levels of wealth. And somebody that's just making a few $100,000 a year, or maybe even a few $1,000,000 a year, is probably not going to have access to those type of financial advisors or those type of accounts. So that doesn't really apply to a lot of people. So what we have to do is we have to think about the motivation for why certain things are marketed towards us. And once we understand that they're marketed towards us because there's a financial incentive for the government to keep us working tirelessly so that we buy, consume, which helps the economy, it increases our tax liability. We now can see why that's being pushed so hard. So the thing about women is that it's a very difficult addiction. There's no greater addiction than sex. There's no greater feeling than fucking an extremely attractive woman. Let's just be honest. If I ask most guys to tell me the top 3 moments of your life, I can guarantee at least 1 or 2 of them, or if not all 3, are going to be something to do with sex. And I'd be a liar if I didn't say that I fell into that category as well. It's not to say there aren't other great things, but there's definitely those are the moments that we all as men like to reminisce about, So now, we all deal with lust. Some of us are more lustful than others. Some of us have more control than others. But this is why you have to have gratitude for the things that you have and the things that, and you have to have things that you have to have honor. You have to have self-respect. You have to have discipline. You know, you have to have things that you're committed to no matter what, like going to the gym. Could be reading. Could be martial arts. For me, for me it's martial arts and going to the gym. Reading is another thing. Could be an instrument. Could be writing. Could be whatever, some sort of art or craft or an outdoors activity. But there's nothing wrong with going out and meeting women. What there's something wrong with is that when that starts to impede your life and get in the way of things that you need to do, that you need to be doing. It's when you stop doing your daily discipline. It's when you decide, you know what, I'm not going to go to the gym today because I'm going to go fuck this girl, and I'm going to miss out on the gym. And I'm going to go and well, she likes to drink, and so I know, like, I don't want to be awkward. I don't want to make it awkward. So I'm going to skip the gym, and I'm going to drink alcohol. And what happens? And I really don't want to drink. And a lot of times when I drink too, I end up wanting a cigarette because for whatever reason, a cigarette just tastes really good when you're drunk. That's why I don't like to drink. Now I've done three things that I've dishonored myself with. Why? Because I tell myself and I tell everybody else that going to the gym is a non-negotiable, not drinking is a non-negotiable, not smoking cigarettes is a non-negotiable. And now I just broke all three of those to myself. So I've dishonored myself. I'm going against what I know is best for myself so that I can get the momentary pleasure of fucking this woman. You see, and we're able to justify it because a lot of us just can't help it. You know, the thought of being able to fuck some super hot girl it's too much for us, and we break character. But then what ends up happening is, you know, we wake up the next day. Well, most of the time too, the girl's not. Most of the time there's some resentment because we know deep down that woman let us off the path. That we've allowed that woman, that bad woman, because a good woman will want to assist you in being a righteous man. But most women do what's best for them. And if that means getting you off your path to momentarily satisfy them and validate them, they'll do it. And so this is one of the reasons that so many men, when they're having a one-night stand, and I've had this happen many times to me, you bring the girl back to your place, you bang it out, and as soon as you bust a nut, what happens? You want to get rid of her immediately. You call the Uber, and you're just sitting there looking out your window like the motherfucker can't come soon enough. And then as soon as she leaves, it's like a sigh of relief. Because deep down you know you are with a woman that is not honoring you and your path and what you need to be doing. So, but all of this comes from unchecked desires. You know, we get bored, we get lonely, we get ungrateful, start to look around and say, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't like this, I don't like that. And we start to justify, you know, fuck it. I'm gonna go get drunk. Fuck it, I'm gonna go smoke that weed. Fuck it, I'm gonna go out to the club and stay out till 4 in the morning. Fuck it, I'm gonna call, you know, some call girl and pay some ridiculous amounts of money to fuck some girl. whatever the case may be, because we're not living in gratitude, we're not adhering to our daily disciplines, and we're allowing an unchecked desire to go unchecked. And so we end up, fucking ourselves. And guys, look, we're gonna make mistakes. And unfortunately, like this one, in my experience, it is kind of like, it's like putting your hand on a hot stove. Like you have to get burned sometimes to learn not to do that. And sometimes it takes a couple times. Getting burned, sometimes you haven't been burned enough. And once you get burned enough, you realize, holy shit, like I gotta not do this anymore. So understand that the more peace you have inside, the less stuff outside you need to make you feel okay. So you have to really stick to your daily principles, your daily habits, and you have to learn to resist temptation. You have to learn how to monitor and police your own thoughts. It's not just actions. Thoughts always come before the action, guys. Thoughts always come before the action. And that's why we have to learn to police our thoughts, because once we start thinking these thoughts, it's Friday night, I don't have anything to do. You know what? I'm gonna go up to the liquor store and grab a bottle. And then I'm gonna hit the strip club. Because just understand something. It doesn't just and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Does it really end at the bottle? Does it really end at the joint? Is that where it ends? Or does it go deeper than that? Maybe you get that drink, now you gotta get a cigarette. Now you get that cigarette, now you gotta go to the strip club. Now you get to the strip club, now you're spending more money on strippers. Now you know what? You buy yourself a bag of blow. Then you don't get out till go to sleep till 5 a.m. Then you're fucked for the rest of the day. Then you got to call off work. But then you got to I'm not going to work out today. I'm not going to, I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to read, or I'm going to sleep until 2 in the afternoon. And now it's going to be even harder to fall asleep the next day because you're all out of your sleep schedule. Let's just even say that that's an extreme example. Let's say you get drunk or you smoke that pot, and you know what? Then you order yourself a pizza. Now you're off your diet. You smoked weed, you're off your diet, you're playing a bunch of video games, you feel like shit about yourself, so you just stay up till 3 in the morning playing video games. You don't get up till 11, 12 o'clock, and now you just fuck off the whole next day because you're all kind of like, hungover from the pot and the alcohol and the shitty fucking food. You're feeling like shit because every time you make a transgression, you feel your self-respect goes down more and more and more and more. And as your self-respect goes down more and more and more, your willingness to fight temptations also goes down, because you kind of get into the mindset of, who cares? What's the use? I already fucked up. Might as well fucking just do it all now. I ate 2 pieces of pizza. Might as well eat the whole fucking thing. Who cares? Gotta live, right? So understand that you have to fucking be vigilant about the thoughts that you're allowing to pervade in your mind. That's what this is all about. I'm out.